Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. This is Channel Messages. It's Friday. We made it through the week unscathed, I hope. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a manageable week despite all the craziness. We are indeed in a time of craziness, and I know a lot of us are trying to survive. I hope some of us are thriving. Okay, I hope we're trying to live our lives despite, the obvious decline. Uh, anyway, today I'm going to attempt to channel 4 people. I'm going to channel Salmon P. Chase. I hope that's how you say his name. Salmon, not salmon. Maybe salmon. I don't know. William Cushing, Ben Franklin, and I want to talk to Harriet Tubman again. Okay, that is in no particular order. I'm probably going to do Harriet first. Sorry, I need some water. I have so much energy because I went back to drinking green juice. I forgot how much energy it gives me. I feel pumped. Anyway, let's see here. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? Okay. If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video, and the link will be there. Or you can email me, moonlightergy15@gmail.com, and I will send you the link. Okay, I have loads of readings up there. I added a new reading, excuse me, inner child healing reading. I do past loved one reading, so hit me up if you want a personal reading, and I will do one for you. Okay, all right. So what am I doing? What am I saying? Anyway, I don't know. Let's start. I'm going to do Harriet Tubman. I'm going to channel Harriet Tubman first. Let me spray. Forgot to do my protection prayer. Let me do that really quickly. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Okay, Harriet Tubman. You hear that rain out there? Okay. Feel her. I hear her. She said, here I am. Okay. My question is, I have a lot of questions. My question is, she's looking at me like, okay, what's your question? My question is, how will we get through this? She's now, if y'all remember, this is my 3rd time channeling Harriet Tubman, and the other time she was very much like, y'all will be okay. It's not saying it's not important, but she's saying almost like this is what y'all going through. Not like it's nothing, because a lot of people are indeed suffering. But she's saying y'all will be fine. She just said this too shall pass. She said, glory be to God. She's saying this is a moment in time, like many moments in time. She's saying this is a moment in time where many moments in time where humanity has to be, I'm literally saying what she's saying as she's saying it, so that's why I'm speaking so haltingly. Where humanity has to be tested in order to come into their best. She's saying don't worry about the end, because she's saying don't worry about the end, because this is where you need to be right now. She keeps saying, that's my printer, if you guys hear that sound. She keeps saying, well, and she's saying that, and the printer started making that sound. She keeps saying, be here in this moment. You have to deal with right now, is what she's saying. She's saying many others have to deal with the consequences of their actions. That's why you need not worry. She's kind of saying, like, this might sound, it's like she's saying, I just heard her say it, the suffering isn't about you, it's about something greater. What do you mean by that? I'm getting very emotional. She's showing me people in chains. She said, you have to focus on what's right in front of you. Don't get lost. Don't get lost. She's saying something and I can't hear it. Don't get lost in the misery, is what she's saying. She's saying that to me. She said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. She said, y'all be just fine. What will become of the issues with immigration? She's shaking her head. She's shaking her head. She's saying something about these laws. These laws are... She's saying... I can't hear her. She's saying something about... these... I keep hearing the word foretold. What are you saying? She's saying they think they can break the law. She's saying like they are bold enough to break the law, she's saying. She said there's something in the law that always comes back to bite you. She's saying here in this moment they don't understand the consequences of what will come of this. She's saying yes, people are suffering, but she's saying yes, people are suffering, but this won't go too much further. And she just said, I told you this. Is Donald Trump on his way out? She said, oh, she said she was waving her hands and up, you know, like you praising something. And she said, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Wait, what did she say? She said, she's saying he doesn't know how far his end is. And he doesn't know what is she saying? He doesn't know what is coming for him. Well, what's coming for him? Tell me. She said everything. She said, he has dug a hole for himself so far into the ground, all he can do now is lay in it. She's saying something about he has gone far beyond. She's saying, he has gone far beyond what they imagined. Ooh. She said, he has gone far beyond what they imagined, and it's laughable to me that they thought they could control that beast. She called him a beast. Where do you see Kamala Harris in all of this? She showed me, I saw a flash of her when she was talking about Donald. Where do you see Kamala? She said she is planning like I did, and she's showing me an image of she said she's quiet, and she said she's planning like I did, and she's showing me an image of her holding, not Kamala, but Harriet is showing me an image of herself holding a torch, not like a flashlight, but a literal torch, like a stick that's lit on fire. And it looks as though she's showing me her leading people. Why are you showing me that? She said, because that's Kamala. First of all, she's in a rocking chair, and she's rocking back and forth very intensely. And she keeps saying, I told y'all I'll be all right. She's like, don't, stop. She's saying to me, stop worrying. And she's saying, you have to know this is something you have to go through, no matter how difficult it is. And she's saying this is creating a new wave of people, of power, she's saying. She's saying, take this message with you. Don't give up hope. Don't live in fear. She's saying, step outside of yourself. It's the only way to move forward. She said, life is painful sometimes. She said, whew, she said, you have to contend with the pain or you have to deal with it. And right now, y'all are dealing with it. Okay. She said, okay. I said, okay. Okay. I'm going to disconnect now. All right. Harriet Tubman, everyone. Well, she wants us to be strong. And her messages to me, a lot of what some of the things I knew she was feeling in my energy. And I have been reading the news more frequently than usual this week because there's a lot going on. And so I don't know. I guess it was the energy of this week has been on me. And so when she said, don't fall into the misery. When you read this stuff, when you read what you read, when you look at the news, I try to keep it very contained. But it's upsetting. There's the bells. It is upsetting and frustrating. And for me, I have to remind myself. I think I'm not going to look at the news for a while, even though part of. No, I could read on that, but I don't know. I need a space from it. But you have to remind yourself that a lot of what you see is not the full story, or it's incorrect, or anyway. Still, when you read stuff, I've gotten, I'm like, that's not important, or this is nonsense, or but when you see certain things, you're like, we're in a serious situation. We are in a serious situation. And a lot of feelings come with that, because a lot of this could have been avoided. But perhaps not. If, Harriet Tubman is saying to me, from what I understand in her energy, is that this, and my guides have been saying this to me too, and I know they are also because of things that I've been watching shows, and the same sort of ideas and what I've been watching has come up. Change is the theme. And for big change to happen, bad things sometimes need to happen. We are learning. And I'm like, on the other hand, I'm like, do we need this lesson? I knew what was at risk. Why do we have anyway? But yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like, what, other people might have needed this lesson. Perhaps, like she said, this isn't really about us, those of us who are aware. Perhaps it's about the Democrats. Perhaps it's about the Republicans, or other people who weren't fully aware or awake as to what dangers, it's really bad. right, so let's do Salmon P. Chase. Let me tell you who he was. He was um I hope it's either his name is Salmon or Salmon. Okay? He was a politician and jurist who served as the 6th Chief Justice of the United States. Okay? And the reason why I chose him is because he was a Chief Justice, one, and because he was hugely against an opponent of slavery. Okay? He was not for it at all. Okay? And really quickly, so he was strongly anti-slavery and played a significant role in the abolitionist movement. He was a passionate advocate for the cause, defending runaway slaves, founding the Free Soil Party, and later serving as the United States Senator, Governor of Ohio, Secretary of the Treasury, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Okay. He would frequently defend runaway slaves in court when owners sought return of their slaves under the enslaved. Chase's anti-slavery positions quickly drew him into politics. Okay, so that's why I chose him. And let's channel him. Let's see. He was a Chief Justice. I want to hear his opinions. Okay. Oh, he has a distinct voice. He has a very distinct voice. Hello. Okay. First of all, his gaze is very intense. What do you think of the current status of the United States? First of all, he seems to talk like this. And he's saying, I'm surprised there's so much chaos. He's saying, I'm surprised. He's saying, I'm surprised there's so much chaos because things have expanded far more than I even imagined. No, he said, even I imagined. He's saying, in due course, they have set themselves back. He said, in due time, they have set themselves back to a place of darkness. He's saying it's unimaginable. He's saying it's revolting. He's now saying, how will they fix it? I don't know. What do you think of the current status of the Supreme Court? You were a justice. What is your opinion on how they are conducting themselves? He's saying that the court of law, he said, the court of law is a very special place because it holds parameters. I'm trying to hear the rest. He's speaking like very, he's very intelligent. He's saying it holds parameters that can decide the law. There's clear, he's saying there's clear cut what is the word? Like he's saying there's a process, right? There's a process that's clear when it comes to the law to decide, to judge on the law. You weigh up the law with the Constitution. That's what he's not specifically saying that, but that's what I'm feeling in his energy. And now he's saying, of course, it's also more nuanced. He's saying, of course, it's more nuanced. Now he's saying, but I can see there's a deep problem here where there is a disregard for the Constitution. And that is very troubling to me. And he keeps saying, I don't know what happened. He's saying, he keeps using the phrase crisis point. And he's saying, he keeps referencing what he used to do in the past when he was a lawyer. And he's saying, I fought. He's saying the law is simple and they're making it, okay. He's saying the law is simple and they're making it a farce. It looks like he is. It's very fascinating because it's much like with John Adams. It's like he's opening up I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's like, not that he wasn't aware, but it's almost like, it's very interesting. like he's opening up a new book. Like I introduced this to him. Hey, what do you think of, and he's looking at, he's like, again, pouring through information. Very fascinating. I wonder why that is. What do you think needs to happen with the Supreme Court? He's saying they must remember. He's saying they must remember the Constitution regardless of their personal feelings. He's saying there's a distinction with the law. There's a distinction with the law that must be considered. He's saying, it's interesting because he's saying, it's almost like it's so fascinating. Now he's saying, this distinction will be considered, sort of like it will bring them back. What do you think of Donald Trump? He's calling him a fellow. He's saying, that fellow has caused some different difficulties, hasn't he? He's saying he's not a true president, isn't he? And he's referencing, it's like, now he's showing me an old map. First of all, he's showing me a map, and he is implying, I could feel, he's not saying anything. I see an image in my head, but I could hear what he's saying to me with the image of this old map. And he's saying that he's not a true president, isn't he? Because he is involved with he said he's involved with treason, is what he said. But in the energy with this map he's showing me, he's saying he's doing things outside of the presidential norm. He's doing things outside the country, is what he's implying in the energy, which is fascinating to me because it's almost like it's like with each topic I introduce, this awareness comes over him. Do you think he will last as president? He said, no, that would be absurd. He said, if they hope this country to stand, they will do the right thing. He's saying there are many more who wants to do the right thing. They may be brought to the brink for something to change, is what he just said. He's referencing a war. Was he around during? He's referencing a war. I knew that he's referencing the Revolutionary War. And he's saying there can no longer be a split, he's saying. He keeps saying it. In order to save this country, there can no longer be a split. He's saying people have to. He's not using the phrase people. He's saying that, what word is he using? Players, that's what he's saying. He's saying players have to come together in order to basically stop Donald Trump. He said, no, it cannot be split. Wow. Let's ask about Kamala. What do you think of Kamala Trump? What do you think of Kamala Harris? He said she knows the law. What does that word mean? This is what I do when I channel, guys. I look words up. Because they say things sometimes. He's saying she's like a good proponent of the law. He didn't use that word, but he's saying very seriously, she has the skills. He's saying she has the skills to challenge those who would challenge her. Wow. Okay. He said she is a phenomenal orator. He said she could lead this country to safety. Interesting. He said those of them, no, that's not what he said. He said those who oppose her will truly know who she is. He just said to me, do not worry. Why y'all saying don't worry to me? He's saying do not worry. He's saying do not worry, and then he's saying to me, there are many people know and remember what the Constitution is there for. And he's acknowledging that, yes, there is a crisis, but he's saying from his experience, the Constitution wins out. And he's saying, yes, there's cause to be worried. Yes, there's right to be worried. But he's saying, have faith. He's saying he has seen the worst. He's referencing the enslaved, and he's referencing slavery, and he's saying he has seen the worst parts of it. And he fought. He's saying he fought always with the Constitution, what it's supposed to stand for, the words he's referencing. Very interesting. He keeps saying, you don't have to worry. He said you have to remember that. Okay. I think this is it. I'm going to disconnect now. Okay. That was Salmon P. Chase. I think, let me see. He was saying it's Salmon. Let me see. Yeah, Salmon. He was like, it's Salmon. When he came in, he said it's Salmon. That was Salmon P. Chase. Interestingly enough, I think I understand when I first channel someone and they come in, it's like the more I sit with them, the more I feel their energy, and I guess they feel my energy, more is revealed about them. Sometimes I feel them immediately in everything. Sometimes it's like getting to know someone is the closest I could explain it. Like I start to feel their energy starts to feel more settled with me talking to them, and I start to see other aspects of them. And the more I was speaking to him, especially towards the end. I don't know. I don't know if our energies came to an understanding. I begin to understand. I begin to feel more of him. And he has a lot of wisdom. When I was introduced, like asking him questions, it kind of felt like, not that this was new to him, not that, but like maybe he wasn't thinking about these things or watching what's happening, But the more it felt like, I don't know if it's me that is feeling that, or their energy is not fully settled yet as I'm channeling with them, like their spirit. But the further we got into it, the more comfortable I started to feel, and the more I started to see and feel more of him, if that makes sense. Because as we got towards the end, it was like a whole different bucket of energy came in, and I could feel his wisdom even more. Right when I started asking him about Kamala, something changed. And not necessarily because of her, but I don't know if things started to finally shift in and settle in. But he knows, I could tell he knows patterns. He's a lawyer and he was a lawyer and a Supreme Court justice. So it's like he referenced history a lot. And he was speaking from a place of experience and of a knowing as well. Which at the end started to feel comforting when he was saying, I don't know if it's, they feel it in my energy. Don't worry. And then that's when he was saying, I could see him showing me, based off of, I've seen terrible things, the worst in this country. So that was interesting. He said it's Salmon. All right, William Cushing. Where are we? What time? Okay. William Cushing. He too was a Supreme Court justice, and I will read about him really quickly. William Cushing was one of the original 5 Associate Justices of the United States Supreme Court, confirmed by the United States Senate on September 26, 1789. He served until his death. They tried to impeach him. He was the only one that was impeached, but he didn't get removed. I can't remember for what reason. There's something about campaign or people hating, He was kicked out of the Navy. He was a prankster. He was vocal and an influential anti-slavery advocate in Massachusetts. He played a key role in the legal abolition of slavery in the state through his rulings and writings, most notably in the landmark case of Quock Walker. Cushing, as a judge, famously declared in the Quock Walker case that slavery was incompatible with the Massachusetts Constitution. This ruling effectively abolished slavery in the state. Okay. Cushing wrote extensively on the topic of slavery, consistently expressing his belief that it was morally wrong and inconsistent with the principles of liberty and equality enshrined in the Constitution. While his family owned slaves, Cushing's personal beliefs evolved so strongly to strongly oppose the practice of slavery. Let me read a real quick quote. He says, as to the doctrine of slavery and the right of Christians to hold Africans in perpetual servitude and sell and treat them as we do our horses and cattle, that has been heretofore countenanced by the province laws. A different idea has taken place with the people of America, more favorable to the natural rights of mankind, and to that natural innate desire of liberty, with which heaven has inspired all the human race. And upon this ground our constitution of government, by which the people of this commonwealth have solemnly bound themselves, sets out with declaring that all men are born free and equal, and that every subject is entitled to liberty and to have it guarded by the laws, as well as life and property. In short, is total repugnant to the idea of being born slaves. The idea of slavery is inconsistent with our own conduct in Constitution, and there can be no such thing as perpetual servitude or a rational creature unless his liberty is forfeited by some criminal conduct or given up by personal consent or contract. Okay, so that was his ruling. Those were his writings, William Cushing. So I'm going to channel him. Okay. He said yes. Okay. Okay. What do you think of the current status of the United States? He said, I'm a bit astounded. Wow. He said, I'm a bit astounded but unsurprised. I could feel that he's not surprised. He's saying it, he has been watching. He's saying it seems as though power and greed has corrupted. He's saying that is one thing that has not changed. He's saying, interesting. His energy, like his attitude, feels very, laid back. He feels, there's a smell that I'm smelling. I've never smelled something when I'm channeling. It's a different, I've never smelled this before. Anyway, he is not surprised. He's saying to me, I think in due course all will be revealed, is what he's saying. Interesting. How do you mean? He's saying the people can't stand this. He's saying the people can't stand this. The people will see the truth. He's very laid back. He's so much different than Salmon. Salmon was more it was harder. I think maybe that's what it was. He's more open. His energy is so open. What do you think of the current Supreme Court and the justices? The first the first image that he showed me was Justice Kantaji, and he's saying, "Oh, this is a momentous occasion." That she is a associate justice. Not even that, well, not even women. He's saying her in particular. Interesting. He's saying it's interesting. He's saying it's interesting because it looks as though they are seeing the error in their ways. Talking about not all of them. What do you think of Justice Roberts? He said, "Oh, he's a foolish man." That's what he just said. He's saying he put the cart before the horse. He keeps saying he did not see. What didn't he see? Wow. He's going in. He is saying he did not see it. He didn't foresee what would happen, what is happening now. And he's saying, he's sort of saying like, he's talking about him mainly, right? But he's referencing other justices that's on the Supreme Court now. But he's saying he's saying like he has no experience, not in the law of what he does, but he's like saying he's not prepared for these kinds of situations. He keeps referencing the beginning. Yeah, he's referencing because he was appointed by George Washington, and he's referencing King George. That's what he's saying. Like he doesn't know. He doesn't have experience on how to deal with these kinds of situations. And he's implying that Justice Roberts, there's an arrogance to him, where he's missing the point of what Supreme Court justice is about. Protection is what he's saying. Because I had to look. If he was appointed, if he was one of the first five, then that he was appointed by George Washington. And he's saying like he doesn't know. He's not experienced in how to deal with these kinds of situations. And he's saying he will have to figure out how to undo all of this. He's saying, he said now he has painted himself into a corner. Very interesting. What do you think of Donald Trump? He said, I do not wish to speak on someone who is a fly. He doesn't want to talk about him. First I heard him say that man. And then I heard him, I do not wish to speak on someone who is a fly. Okay. He's saying he has no propriety. He has no propriety, he's saying. Yeah. He has no propriety. That's what he's saying. He doesn't want to talk about him. Okay, we can move on. What do you think of the current immigration status and what his administration is doing? He's very frustrated. If I feel it in his energy, and he's questioning, why would you not want to expand? Why would you turn away your own citizens? He's saying, what is this? He's like not even talking to me. He's speaking out loud. What is this idea about not treating people with dignity? He's saying the court of law will need to take control. And he's saying again, it is the only way. He said order needs to be put in place. What do you think of Kamala Harris? He's saying she reminds me of Justice, and I can't hear. I'm going to do some quick research. can't hear what he's saying. He's saying she reminds me of Justice. Bleh. I can't hear it. I can't hear what he's saying. He said she has a lovely way of speaking with passion and determination. He's also like you know, in his energy it feels very like he feels very proud that she represents. He's saying no, you know, it's no wonder how far she has come. He's saying she will continue to go far. He's saying she has so much power and potential. He said someone like her, he's saying someone like her, you will continue to see. She's not going anywhere. He didn't say that exactly, but that's what I feel in the energy. He said, I would have loved to have her on my side, is what he said. Do you believe this country or the courts will change for the better? He's saying things have been difficult and there has always been changes. He's saying, I see here now there is no, he's like, he's referencing literally the law being, his back being against the wall, meaning the law in the United States. And he's saying, and it takes true people in power to undo it. And he's saying to me, they have a real choice here. And he's saying he's saying the choice is simple. You could undo it and go back, or you could ignore the law and ignore the Constitution, is what he's saying. He's not necessarily answering the question, but he's saying they do have a choice. They do have the power to undo this. I think that's it. I'm going to disconnect now. Okay. William Cushing. He is very, his energy is very laid back. He is a little flamboyant. And, he's just so lackadaisical is what he felt like. And just like, I've seen this. I've seen everything. And he sees too. And he is concerned, but he's just like, he's like there, when he's speaking about Justice Roberts and saying, oh, he was not prepared. He doesn't know how to deal with the real problems. Almost calling them spoiled, in a sense. That they've created this problem for no particular reason other than, you know what. It's very interesting. It's like someone not coming in class not being prepared for the test, and you're just looking at them like, how do you survive? How do you live your life this way? Living by the seat of your pants. You don't know anything. Okay. All right. What time is it? Ben Franklin? Why not? Let's just do Ben Franklin. Let me clear this in. Wait, let me check the time first of all. Oh my god, it's about to be 3 o'clock. It's the green juice, guys. I don't even feel drained. Okay. Ben Franklin. We know who Benjamin Franklin was, right? Scientist, founding father. Okay. He's a diplomat. Yeah. He did own slaves, but I believe he freed them. And he was also, especially in his later years, became a big advocate, a big opposition of slavery. Okay. All right, so let's just jump right in. I could feel him. Ben Franklin. I could feel his energy coming in. feels a little bit scattered. Okay. I'm going to ask my first question. What do you think of the current status of the United States? He's saying, I see how far things have gone. First he said, I see how much we've expanded. And then he's saying, I see how far things have gone. The country is divided. And I could hear him saying, muttering to himself, it is quite concerning. He's saying all things are being tested. He's saying science and freedom are being challenged. And he's saying this isn't what I envisioned for our country. What do you think of Donald Trump? He said, oh. He said, oh. He said he is a waste. Wow. He said he forged his way into the presidency. Wow. He said he is a highlight in history. He's not angry. He's just speaking. He doesn't, in the energy, he doesn't feel upset or angry. No one did, actually. Anyone I channeled. He feels, it feels like he's just speaking. He said he is a highlight of history that won't be remembered. He's saying there's an important, a valuable lesson. He's saying there is a valuable lesson with a man like he. And he's saying, and that lesson is to never He said that lesson is to never stay open to the depths of corruption. He said, that's right, my dear. Okay. Do you believe he will last as president? He's saying, I'm not sure. It seems as though the people know he was not elected. He's saying there's something quite wrong here that needs to be discussed. No, revealed. Okay. Sorry. He said no, revealed. He's so steady. He feels very steady and grounded. I feel like I'm talking to a grandpa. I feel, it's like he's holding me in his energy. Not like holding me like a baby, but his energy is holding me steady. He's saying there is a facet of life that is exacting. And he's saying that facet holds a truth that everyone will discover. He said that truth will change lives and open an entire different world of discoveries. He's very philosophical, first of all. And it feels like in his energy he's trying to teach me something. Do you think he will be exposed? He's saying yes. He's saying, oh, absolutely. He said he is not in he's not saying it like he in the energy he's not saying it as an insult. He's just saying he's not intelligent enough to not reveal himself. He's saying he's too foolish to stay quiet. Do you think this country will be okay? He said that he said that is a good question. Or he said therein lies a good question. He's saying this country has fought for freedoms numerous times. This will be no different. And he's referencing everything. Everything. He's showing me. He's showing me his experience, the enslaved, civil rights movement. That is what he's referencing. I could feel it, the information he's pushing towards me. And now he's saying life is made of patterns. And he's saying he's very interesting, this person, Ben Franklin. He's saying life is made of patterns. Some patterns are not the same, but it's a pattern. But each pattern leads to another one. This is what he's saying. He said, so in my answer, I give to you the idea of the continuous fight for freedom. He's saying, this fight is different. He's saying this fight is different because it is the fight. He's referencing the beginning, right? He's a founding father. And so he's saying this fight is different because he's saying like it's along the same pattern. I'm trying to pick up what he's putting down. Because I could feel his energy. He also wants me to figure it out. He's saying, are you saying this fight is different because we are fighting for the Constitution? That's why you're referencing the beginning. He said precisely. He said, I believe given the circumstances, they will remember. I hope. What do you think of Kamala Harris? He said she has no fear. He got excited and he said, he said something, and then he said she has no fear. He said she's a true representative of what intelligence means. He said she will have to fight for her space. And then he said she will have to fight for her space. And she will put up a good fight. He's saying this country will change. He's saying it's time to let go it's time to let go old ideas so new ones can replace them. He said, and that is how you save the Constitution. Okay, I'm going to disconnect now. Thank you, Ben Franklin. It's very interesting because he felt scattered, but not in a bad way. He felt very scientific, very philosophical, and it felt like as I'm having this conversation with him, he is teaching me something, not giving me the answer, but helping me or encouraging me to find the answer in his strange answers, his philosophical, sort of scientific, to come to my own conclusions, which I like that. I like that. He made me do some work. I felt like I was talking to a grandpa. He didn't seem concerned. Well, no, that's not true. he recognized that it's concerning, though he didn't feel necessarily concerned with it. And he's just sort of like, yeah, this is par for the course. This is what happens. This is the theme, the continued pattern that the country finds itself on, and it changes, and the fight for freedom. And at the end, he's saying these old ideas have to be gone, so new ideas could, emerge, and we can move forward. Okay, so that was Ben Franklin, guys. Sorry, it's a long video. You could skip around. I'm going to take a little break and do moving forward. But I hope you enjoyed these channeled messages. Please like this video. Let me know what you think. Okay. And I will see you guys on Monday. If you're just going to watch this. If you're going to watch my other video, I'll see you in the other video. Okay. Please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.